healthy breakfast right then and there. Prepare a healthy breakfast for tomorrow so you avoid fucking up, so you're not going to have that again. And then you are only one meal away from getting yourself back on track. What's going on, guys? Today I want to talk to you about not throwing everything away when you fuck up, okay? Because we're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to eat crappy food sometimes. We're all going to make the wrong decision. Birthday party's going to come up at work. You're going to be tired one day and you're going to need a sugar hit. All of these things are going to come up and you're going to make a fucking mistake. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. But you know what the biggest problem is? When you make the mistake, most people just go, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to throw it away for the rest of the week. I'm going to start next week. I'm going to start tomorrow. And you are only one meal away from getting back on track. And a lot of people don't realize that. So you need to think about it. If you fuck up for lunch, or for breakfast, or for dinner, whenever you stuff up, you just get straight back on track the next day. Now, I touched on this the other day in one of the other talks, but I really want to hone this in because a lot of people don't think about this. You're one meal away from getting back on track, right? If you have a crappy breakfast, you've got 2 more days to be 2 more meals in that day, or maybe 3 or maybe 4 to get it back into place. So don't stress about one day. Don't think about one meal. Think about what's going on. You want to win the day. If you eat 4 times a day and you only stuff up once, you're 3/4 of the way there, which is beautiful. So don't get that mentality of thinking, I fucking ruined it, I'm gonna throw it all out, I'm gonna start again tomorrow. Because tomorrow turns into next week turns into next month turns into the New Year's resolution, and 90% of people don't succeed with their New Year's goals. So don't be the person who just bullshit yourself, and if you stuff up on a Tuesday, you're gonna wait until next Monday, because that's a whole week of you undoing good habits, and of you just making it harder for yourself in the long run. So when it comes to making sure you're on track, all you have to do is say, okay, admit it. First of all, you've always got to admit that you fucked up, because if you don't admit it and you blame somebody else, well then of course you're not going to make changes. But just say, okay, I fucked up, I ate a bad lunch, what can I do to make myself feel better? Because you know what you also realize? When you eat shitty foods, you have a shitty mindset. You start to think like crap, and we don't want that. And so if you go, you know what, I'm feeling shitty now, if I have a good healthy meal for my next meal, I'm gonna feel better, I'm gonna feel more energized, I'm gonna feel more relaxed, I'm gonna improve my mindset. So when you had that shitty opportunity, I'll tell you what happens when I feel shit. I always want to get rid of all the bad stuff. I'm always like, oh man, I just had a shitty meal, I just want to throw everything away. And that's what I do. I'll literally go to the cupboard when I'm in that mindset, because I feel guilty, and that's the opportunity to seize to actually get rid of things. That's the opportunity to clear out the cupboard, to clear out the fridge, to get rid of all that crap. And then when it comes to your next meal, let's say you stuff up at breakfast time, when it comes to lunchtime, you don't want to eat shitty food again, especially if you just chucked it all out. So take advantage when you actually do feel like shit, and when you're like, you know, you're in that bad mindset, you feel guilty, yeah, you're probably going to beat yourself up. But you know what the best thing about beating yourself up is? It also makes you take action. Because no, you're always like, all right, I'm going to get back on track, because you don't want that guilty feeling. And so when you do that, it's going to be so much more beneficial when you can just say, you know what? I'm in this shitty mindset, I fucked up, I feel guilty, I feel like a fraud. You know what I'm gonna do right now? I'm gonna go to the cupboard, I'm gonna chuck everything out. Everything that's gonna be adding to your waistline, you chuck out. Everything from your fridge, from your pantry, get rid of it all. And then you're gonna feel so much more better, so much more confident when you go to that next meal. It's only one meal that you have to fix up on. Even if it's dinner, well then you know what you do? You start for breakfast. If it's dinner, you say, tomorrow I'm gonna do this. If it's dinner and you fuck up and you feel bad, go and make a healthy breakfast right then and there. Prepare a healthy breakfast for tomorrow so you avoid fucking up, so you're not going to have that again. And in that way, you're gonna feel so much more better if you can do that. And I promise you, like taking that mentality of just thinking it's only one meal, as opposed to thinking, well, it's gonna be a whole day of messing up, or I'm gonna start next week, it's just gonna fuck you up in the long run. Like, so many people are on that mentality through our head. I fucked up today, I might as well run it through next week. And if you keep doing that, you're always going to be where you are at the moment. I want to ask you, for the amount of times you fucked up and then you put it on for the week after, or the month after, or you're waiting for the, dry July, things like that, how much further has that put you back? How many times have you woken up in the morning and just thought, you know what, I hate how I look today. But you keep running that same thing over and over and over again. You feel bad, you feel guilty. You say you're gonna put it off for next week. You put it off and you start it for a couple of days. You stuff up and you say, nah, next week's gonna happen. And you know what? That waistline, it never moves. Think about how long you've been stuck with that belly that you look at every single day in the mirror. When you just look at it and you're like, I just want it to go. But then you do the same thing over and over and over again. So switch that mentality. Don't have the mentality of thinking, all right, I'm just gonna go for it next week. I'm gonna do it next month. New Year's resolution, dry July, whatever else there is, November, no drinking, whatever that stuff is. Instead of thinking about that, just go, you know what, today is the day. The next meal is the meal. This meal that I'm gonna have right now is gonna be the meal that I'm gonna fix it up. Because when you have that mindset and you can change it like that, you are going to stay on track. You are gonna see the results you want, because you're not gonna be like everybody else who makes up bullshit excuses. You're not gonna say, I'm gonna do it next week. If you take action today, let's say you take action today, right? You have a shitty breakfast, you say, for the rest of the day, I'm fixing it up. I'm gonna have a good lunch, I'm gonna have a good dinner. Then you say, you know what, I had a really good lunch, I had a really good dinner, I'm gonna have all 3 healthy meals tomorrow. And if you have come at it with that mentality, and you start today, instead of 4 days from now, instead of a week from now, you are now ahead of where you're going to be. Now you're changing the wheel, now you're changing your thoughts, now you're changing your habits. Then you get to start seeing progress. Oh wow, once I start doing this, I actually start feeling better. You know what, I'm actually starting to see results, because even though I stuffed up twice this week, out of 28 meals, 26 of my meals were really, really good. And when you started with that mentality, then things start to change. Then you start to see the body results. Then you start to feel good about yourself. So you are only 1 meal away from getting back on track. Win your next meal, whether it be a healthy breakfast, whether it be a healthy lunch, whether it be a healthy dinner, whatever it's gonna be, make that meal fucking healthy, get on track, and I promise you, you will be making tremendous changes for yourself. That is the video for today. Speak to you guys tomorrow.